Welcome to part 2 of DanDaDan on Sad Girls and Anime. Before moving forward, we would highly recommend that you listen to part 1. With that, we do have some warnings of spoilers, mature content, and discussions of suicide. 2, there were some audio issues and some sirens that were picked up, but hey, we tried to just roll with it as opposed to making it too big of a deal. We hope you enjoy, and thank you for tuning in. And we're back.
Woo!
We got some food in. Poor Kaneki. I didn't mean to give you alcohol
No.
poisoning or anything.
That was my fault. I didn't even think about the fact that the only thing I'd had was like a single no-bake cookie that I made last night.
Okay.
And some coffee.
They're good They're good cookies.
They're good. They're good. I enjoy them.
We love a no-bake. A no-bake is...
They're good. And they're easy too. They're good.
They're delicious.
Next time I'll put more peanut butter in them. But other than that, I think they're pretty okay.
No, still good. They're still very good. Love it. But anyway, we're back.
We're back.
We love it. Gosh, our introductory to everything is just, here's the thing though, it deserves it. DanDaDan.
So good.
We
so
love
good.
it. Okay, I guess starting off, we've been introduced to Momo Ayase and Okaron, who is actually Ken Takakura, but Momo Ayase cannot hear it.
She can't handle it.
Nope, she cannot. It's the cutest thing, and it's like, especially first watching this, I was like, oh girl, I feel you so much. Like, of course you can't handle this.
And she's a teenage girl, too.
Yeah.
That's like as if someone's name was David Bowie when I was a teenage girl.
Perfect comparison.
I say it.
This can kind of be dorky of me, but for me, it kind of always will be Alton Brown.
Alton Brown? I don't even know Alton Brown.
Okay, so I'm a big foodie. I love food, everything around food. I love to eat. I love to learn about food. We were talking about that without you all.
As we were eating our food, we had a little food conversation.
It was great. And Alton Brown, he was one of the original Food Network stars, especially bringing a lot of personality and the science of food into food cooking shows in general. If you look up a picture of him, you'll see.
I'm gonna look it up
and know my type.
I'm gonna look it up here. Let's see.
Okay, Kaneki has to look this
What is it?
Alton Brown. So Alton, and then the color brown. Yeah. Literally my first childhood crush.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and because I watched the Food Network and Cartoon Network. Those were the two things that were being watched and played in my home. Because my mom's a big food person, too. So this guy, right? Yep.
Ah, okay.
Yep. He had a little bit more hair in his youth.
Let me add on Alton Brown.
Honestly, that...
Young.
Kind of works with what we're talking about, because Momo will just constantly go to baldy as an insult.
Wait, okay, Alton Brown's kind of cute in this picture.
Isn't he?
Wow.
He has the glasses.
He's like really young here. He's got like long hair. He's got glasses.
He has what I would call a face where... He does look like an ordinary dude, but there's just something different about his face. He's not very traditionally attractive to me, he is, though. But
we should make a... Have you seen those, like, Hear Me Out cakes?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We should make one of those.
Yeah, and that's my Hear Me Out.
You put Alton Brown on there. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh.
No, hear me out. Personality.
Oh, I saw this back on TikTok, but like I saw this video. This person was like, men don't realize that it's not that you're not attractive enough. That's not why women don't like you.
Yeah.
Because like if you watch all of these Hear Me Out cakes, women are down to sleep with literal monsters and concepts. I promise you, it is not because you're not attractive enough. That is not the problem.
No. No, and we've talked about this a bit, but for me especially, if you're an attractive man, like, I've had so many people be like, not hear me out, or like, oh, look at this guy. Sorry, the sirens in the back are coming through.
Oh, I thought I was crazy. I was like,
no, this is the horny police coming. Oh my gosh. Anyway, like, I've had several times where people are like, oh, isn't he so dreamy? And I'm like, he's too perfect.
Oh my god, same. A lot like Brad Pitt type. You know, those like super...
George Clooney.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
Give me Willem Dafoe.
Honestly, yes. Yes. I agree.
And not even like like even Willem Dafoe now. Give me him. Oh, who else was I thinking of in this realm the other day? But anyway.
Oh, you know, the whole... Hold on, I gotta Google it really quick because I don't remember. I think it was Prada. Hold on.
Okay.
It was. I'm so right. Fashion genius here, guys.
Yes. As I said, our foremost fashion expert.
Right, well, back in 2012, in Prada's fall runway, they did a villain line where they made this, like, just really nice, smart-looking suits that look villainy. But the fun part is they went and they hired famous villain actors. And they had them go down the runway. So, like, William Dafoe was there. Here's William Dafoe.
I love him so much.
He looks so good.
He's always looked very good.
And they had just, like, a lot of really of the big villain actors. Like,
oh my gosh.
Hot.
You see Adrian Brody ups in there, which they have acted in quite a few things before, specifically Wes Anderson's works. But anyway.
Yeah. But, like, oh my god, that's so hot. Oh my god.
Not even a hear me out. If you don't find Willem Dafoe attractive, get out of here.
Come on.
Actually, never mind. You can stay. Sorry, that was harsh.
You have to sit in the corner for a second, though.
Yeah. And then you can come back. You can join the group. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okaroon is probably Momo's Hear Me Out because no one saw it at first.
No.
Everyone's like, who's this nerdy kid?
Yeah.
Then he gets his hair cut later on, and then people are like, oh?
Not even cut. Messed up.
Wasn't that the second episode? Where it gets permed? And
because they try to go back to the tunnel.
That's right.
But then it's daytime. So Turnberg ran. Ghosts don't come out in the day.
Of course.
Yeah. Ghost logic. Very sound. So they go back to Momo's place, which her family seems to have a kind of spiritual... It's not quite a shrine, but obviously her family has some roots in kind of like spiritual mediumness. I imagine, gosh, why can't I find the words right now? But basically the type where you would come to these people with your problems, like, hey, I'm really unlucky right now, or I have this injury, can you give me a blessing?
Yeah, like...
There is a shrine on the property, but the property itself is not per se a shrine.
Yeah, it's not really one that people go to.
Yeah.
At least in the first season, we don't really see anybody just going there and paying respects or anything.
It seems much more like, okay, this is sort of a dying out cultural practice type of thing.
It seems very kind of like curandera-esque, like with like Mexican culture. It's like the medicine woman type thing. You go to her and she will heal your ailments, whether they're supernatural based or like mental or physical, whatever it is. It seems very similar in that is what Miss Ayase's family does.
Yes.
Is that they're this kind of thing. But I mean, her grandma's a whole character in and of herself. Maybe she's doing it for the money, but who knows?
So I think before, again, episode 2, which we'll just do a little overview. Can't fight Turbo Granny, it's daytime. Go back to Momo's place because she's a little bit more well versed in that, and she does mention like, okay, maybe my grandma will know what we can do. And there's the whole thing because Okarun is cursed at this point, tries to go through the gates. There's a talisman, so he bursts into flames.
I was like, oh,
gets thrown into a ditch by Momo's ghost.
Because I mean, she's got to put out the fire.
She has to, like, and they're by rice fields, so you can tell that. And this is kind of, again, playing into my whole thing with Momo and being like, oh, I'm a Momo. Like, it seems that she comes from a more country background.
Yeah, there's no one around here. Yeah. It's just rice fields and then their property. They're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so he gets thrown into a ditch, water near a rice field. Poor Okarun. And then he has a granny perm. They get changed in clothing. We do have this very cute, intense scene between them where Momo has to keep her eyes on Okarun in order to suppress the curse.
Yep.
And there's this whole thing where she's changing and then the curse takes hold and she's like, get out of here, I'm changing. She's like, this is such a hassle, and gives him sweat. And they do a really good job at the back and forth of, yes, Momo is being very kind to Okarun, but Okarun also sees in the sense of, it's like, why are you so mean?
Yeah.
Like
well, she has just that very teasing, meanish stripe.
She got made this way. It's not entirely her fault. But this happened. She has to take down the talisman that caused Okarun to burst into flames, which then leads to... And I love the sound design, too. And the choices for some of the audio that are used in this for the doorbell for evil spirits. Because it's this very offsetting, like, drung, 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 drung kind of noise.
Oh, the doorbell.
Yeah, because she's like
what?
my grandma told me years ago that there's 2 doorbells. There's the primary doorbell and one for evil spirits.
And this doorbell is so eerie.
Oh, yeah.
When I heard it, I was like, oh, that's spooky.
Yeah.
That's spooky. They did a good job with the sound design there.
Oh, so
great choice. Great job.
Again, I would not change a single thing about this show. Anyway. So we have that. They have the fight with the big sumo wrestler alien who is noted as a Flatwoods monster, which I didn't look so much into that aspect, but overall, this show does such a great job of, like, aliens, urban myths, mixing them together. And it is just so fun and creative. This is also where, speaking of sound design, we do get this whole situation because they're up against this huge monster that's basically a giant sumo wrestler. And it punches a hole because everything is blacked out around them and boxed in. They can't get off the property. And it goes and punches, like, a hole, like a crevice. It can't punch through it, but into a section of this locked off wall. And Momo and Okarun are on the ground, and Momo does the little thing, and it's the perfect sound design of the blink, blink. Of being like, oh fuck, and then they're off running, which I haven't seen that in so long. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is the last time I saw that, the little blink, blink.
Yeah, honestly, same. Yeah, it's on it. Which, it's like a tropey thing, but it's fun.
It's fun.
It's cute.
It just needs to be done. Oh, so great. But anyway, then they have to fight this thing, and it's obviously not going well. Okarun does come up with the idea. It's like, let the curse take my body, but not my mind. And this is when we get transformative curse Okarun.
He turns into this, like, really attractive demon-esque dude. And he immediately is, like, super depressed.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm so bummed,
Yeah. Yo, I'm bummed AF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I need that on, like, embroidered on something.
Yeah, same. Please. Yo, I'm bummed AF. Well,
yeah.
And he's like, my mind's clear as hell, yo, but man, I'm bummed. It's just, it's so great.
So good.
But he can only fight for so long. He can only do so much. And the resolution being that basically they get this giant monster to punch a hole deep enough into what is the entryway of the property, so that way Momo can put the talisman back on.
And they're technically outside. So Okarun doesn't burst into flame again, and everyone's happy except for the alien dude. But
And then post that is when we do get Okarun's new hair, which is just, it goes from the granny perm to it's kind of like spiky and textured on the top.
Yeah, and when it's like a little fade with a couple lines cut in, and it's got like some texture on the top. He looks good.
It's like
haircuts save lives.
They do.
For real. No, seriously though, remind me to show you this TikTok channel. I talk about TikTok all the time, guys. If you can't tell, I have a problem. But there's this barber. I love watching his videos because like these really greasy looking dudes will walk in and they'll walk out looking like models. It's insane. Just a haircut. They clean up the brows a little bit. Boom.
We love it. And
saving lives.
And again, it does. I love the character design overall.
Oh, it's great.
That Tatsuda, like, everyone is so damn cute.
Absolutely.
Like,
speaking of cute,
yeah,
this is when we meet Granny.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because part of what happens is Momo's tapped out. She's like, "Oh, I'm dizzy." She passes out.
Yep.
And then Turbo Granny takes over Okarun. But before that can happen, we get first a little glimpse of Santa Dorian. And I love this scene so much. I've called to this scene quite a few times. We don't quite know who she is at first, or who they are, because it's this very kind of demon-esque mask. And wearing kind of like these gloves with these long clanky fingernails on it, like looking into a crystal ball. And she's talking to this young guy who we learn is an idol, and this is being filmed for a TV show, like a local broadcast. And she's like, "You're 27 years old," and he's like, "No, I'm 20. You have a wife and kids." "No, I'm single." "Your favorite food is curry." "No, I like ramen."
I'm like, wow, this girl's not very good at her job.
And everyone around her like being like, "Oh, that's embarrassing. Should we even broadcast?" And it's like, no one watches these local broadcasts anyway. We might as well.
Fair, yeah.
And then we cut into, okay, we see who this person is. This woman's like, oh, who is she? She's being taken via cab back to her house. And the cab driver's like, "Hey, are you Santa Dorian?" And she's kind of like, what up? And he's like, "Well, do you really believe in, like, ghosts and all that stuff?" Like, starts to kind of get a little bit whippy. I don't want to say snippy, but maybe whippy is the better term. At her. And then she just immediately goes with pull over. Like, pull off.
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I was just wondering if I could get a prediction or something." She's like, "I predict if you don't let me out now that you'll die." Basically. And, what could be said for Seiko Ayase? Like,
yeah.
Momo's grandma.
We see where Momo gets it from.
Yeah. We see where Momo, like, she is very much referred to as, "There's no way she is your grandma." Like, there's literally a line in here where it's like, "There's no way she's your grandma. She is way too young and hot." Which is another thing that plays into my thing with Momo. I have a very young grandma. By the time I was born, my grandma would have been 44.
That's a young grandma.
Yeah, I have a young grandma. A lot of the grandmas, women in my family are... My mom was a young grandma, too, because my brother had his first when he was 20. So then my mom was a 40-year-old grandma.
Oh, my mom, too. Yeah, because my brother, he had his kids pretty young, too. So my mom was in her 40s when she was a grandma.
So, I mean, with that, where people are being like, she is way too young, there is a high possibility that she's like in her mid-late 50s when we see Seiko. But anyway, she comes through and, oh, I love this scene so much.
It's so fun.
Because we see that Ghost Granny Cursed Okuran is about to gobble up Momo, basically. And all of a sudden you see a nail and a little cube of wood with a circle in it come flying through, and then it hits Turbo Granny Okuran just straight in the forehead. And Seiko goes, and second favorite, like, again, another song I love, I listen to it at least once a day, is Seiko. I love that song so much. It is a power beat. And it's, as you listen further along, I was looking up the lyrics of it. Everywhere will tell you there is no lyrics. No, there are.
Really?
Yeah, it... Let the groove beat, young guy, feel the beat begin to slide. It's so good. Anyway. Because I wanted to look up the actual ones, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to just have to listen to the song close enough. Anywho. And so her song she comes in with a literal bat. Taunting this, and she's like, gosh, I knew my grandkid brought along a bunch of crummy guys, but a monster. Demon, didn't expect that. And it's just... Honestly, the Kenta Kakura part of the drink that we make could be Seiko's drink, too.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I just ate the apple part of the drink. I'd say that fits her pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. Tart and smooth as fuck.
Tart and smooth. A little spicy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of spice.
Well, a lot spicy with Seiko. We love it. This is what I hope to be as an old woman, but I might not be. We'll see. We'll see how lives go. But this is going to be what I strive for. I hope the little snack of your cocktail was satisfying.
That was so good. I just had the cherry. Good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was the perfect literal cherry on top of all three drinks.
Okay, I got, like... Because don't get me wrong, I love maraschino, but I don't like a sundae topping maraschino, which is a lot of what you'll get at basic cocktail places. Like, I looked for good maraschinos because I want a good maraschino.
That was delicious.
Yeah. I like to think Seiko would be proud of that.
I think she would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Anyway, we get her introduction. She's beating, like, Cursed Okuran, like, Turbo Granny to a pulp.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a point, like, she's beating him with the bat, being like, hold your ground. Get knocked out of the line. And she goes into this whole explanation of, like, the barrier around Turbo Granny Okuran.
Oh, yeah, the little circle that she drew around him. Yeah.
Oh, and there's this whole, one of my favorite things of where the Turbo Granny Okuran, Cursed Okuran, is like, you dirty old hag. And it's like the old hag calls the old hag a dirty old hag. It's one of my favorite lines. It's so great.
That was really good.
Get that. And then there's this whole thing where it's like, well, if you kill me, the boy dies with me. Like, Seiko's like, fine.
Okay.
I guess.
I don't care. If he dies, he dies.
Yep. And then we cut to Momo waking up from being... She's in her bed now, but she's waking up like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, because last thing she knew is that they just barely survived the giant sumo dude. She did not see anything what happened with
No.
Kentaka Okarun and her grandma.
Yeah. We're going to go between calling him both because poor kid deserves to be called Ken. Anyway. So and then we do see a lot more of the dynamic of the relationship between Momo and Seiko, her grandma. And Seiko just throws her. She's like, well, I thought it was a fake. Like, you called me a fake medium, and Momo owning up and apologizing.
Yeah.
But then immediately dissing her and getting like snappy with her when she thinks that she's potentially killed Okarun. Because it's this little back and forth. It's like, did you see a kid with like glasses? And she's like, oh, is that the type of guy you're into? All that. And he's like, I don't know. Might be a part of the spirit that I killed. And then she's like, how could you? And runs out to the shrine that she said. It's like, maybe go check the shrine. Oh my gosh. And it just hit me how cute this moment. And she like goes and runs. She like slides the door as fast as she can.
Just rips it open.
And then it's Okarun eating, oh, why'd I just forget what this is? I know the word. It's rice balls in nori.
Oh, onigiri?
Yeah. He's eating onigiri. And it's like the rice is around his mouth.
He's just chilling.
Like, yeah, and then he's like, basically starts crying. He's like, you're okay. I thought I killed you.
Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah. And then Momo can't. She just slides the door.
She's like, I can't deal with this.
She's like, I can't, like, she cannot deal with the feels. And again, I relate. I did not get raised knowing how to deal with the feels. So. And then Seiko comes back out. And she's like, so is this the type of guy that you're into now? And it's just this back and forth of just like, why did you go to that place? Well, this is what's happening, Grandma. And she's like, well, first there's the great little back and forth. And then she's like, so you are in love with the kid? And she's like, congratulations, kid. She's madly in love with you. We love her. We love her so much.
She's fun.
She is so fun. And again, a grandma who will smoke in front of their grandchild is fine. I cannot speak to the efficacy of it, but it is a vibe.
It is a vibe. Maybe not a good one, but it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Anyway, yeah, so there's all that, and then Seiko kind of starting to prepare them. This is kind of episode 2 going into episode 3. And then Seiko being like, well, it's the kid's problem. And then Momo being like, no, like he went there on a dare, like I gotta help him. And Seiko being like, okay. So talks about like, okay, you all have to train, get stronger, so you can fight Turbo Gran. Ken has spent what I'm thinking is like 2 nights now here
in the shrine. Yeah,
in the shrine, and I'm kind of like, where is this kid's home life? Where are his parents?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are they not worried about their kid?
Honestly, throughout this whole series, it's like she's just like gone from home. What the hell? And there's like no context there, which I do think speaks a lot to the state, the emotion of Hen's life. Like, I cannot help but wonder about his home life. But anyway. Seiko's like, that basically we get to the next day, and poor Okarun really needs to go to the bathroom.
Oh no! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But the problem is, he cannot leave Miss Ayase's sight, or else they're gonna have problems.
Yeah, he either needs to be in the shrine that suppresses, or he can't leave Miss Ayase's.
And there's no bathroom in the shrine.
Yeah.
There's not one in there.
Nope.
And they have this little altercation where he's like trying to, keep himself from going, and then Ayase and her Granny are, arguing with each other.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I gotta go. I can't hold it anymore.
Yeah.
And he books it like he's gonna run to the bathroom. And then both of them get mad at him because, like, you can't just go poop in someone else's house. Which, I don't understand that. That's like, isn't that what bathrooms are for?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Anyways. Maybe it's like a cultural thing where it's like you don't crap in other people's houses.
Potentially, but
I don't know.
It also makes no sense.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways.
Don't go dumping loads in other people's houses. It's rude manners.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
But he's running. He has to go to the bathroom, and his ISA has to have the door, like, cracked.
Yeah, and it's a cuckoo clock. Again, the sound, like, it just, for some reason, it fits so well to have the cuckoo. And then it's the scene of him being like, this is so humiliating. He's like, I always wanted to have an alien abduction experience, but not this.
Yeah. Oh, like, the poor guy.
I just want this curse to be over with.
This poor guy.
Oh, poor Ken. This poor kid.
A poor little guy.
And then TurboGran decides to...
Oh, yeah, she pops up. She basically threatens all of them. Like, hey... She basically figures out that they're trying to, get stronger to defeat her. So she's like, nope, you have to come now. If you don't come now, I'm going to kill everybody.
Yep.
Because apparently anybody that Ken Takakura's come into contact with, she can just kill. Yeah. And then when she disappears, the granny's bleeding out of her ears and her nose. And it's like, oh man, this is real. We don't got a choice.
Yeah, well, and there's a talisman in the house, too, which, again, such cool animation. Like, I love the art design of it, that it's completely bled out and red.
Yeah. And that just shows how powerful of a problem Turbo Granny is.
Yeah, which, I don't know how far we want to get into this, but a lot of urban myth and legend, a lot of the power is based around... the people's fear-mongering of you, which, again, TurboGran is big in Japanese culture. Like, I've seen multiple things of TurboGran. Now, it's a bit difficult for me to read further into it, where I don't know Japanese quite yet. I imagine as I get further into Creepy Nuts and start wanting to be able to sing along the lyrics, that's going to change. Yeah. But anyway, like, that is a lot of it, is she is an urban legend. So she has that power. And also within this story, she has the power of a locally bound spirit. Because after this whole thing happens and Seiko's bleeding out of her nose and ears, she's like, what happened? And she looks over, sees the talisman is bled through, and she's like, Momo, tell me everything that's happened. And so we get a bit into the story of, like, people have been after TurboGran for years. Like, I tried to go after her this one time in the tunnel that we know she's from. But something was just very off, strange. I knew she was too powerful, so there's no way I could take her on. And so they get set up with this story and in special garb that are spirit-proof. So that way Momo and Okarun can go fight TurboGran, because now they've been given a deadline. And we do have the beautiful moment between Momo and her grandmother where she's kind of talking about her grandma. It's like, yeah, we get it. Stop being a nag, da-da-da. They're going to leave, and her grandma's like, hey, Momo. She's like, what? And then Seiko puts her arms around her. She's like, don't die on me, kid. It's so cute. Like, it's just... It hits a level of wholesome. Too. The show hits such levels of, like, romanticism, cuteness, wholesomeness. Yes. But also very sad stories. Like, a lot of pressure in the moment. Like, you do feel like it's like, they gotta do it.
Yeah, they don't have an option.
They don't have an option. And then we get them on their way to go to the tunnel. And... again, as we talked about earlier, like, this is when we see Momo, like, pronounce herself as Gyaru. Because she is not going to wear the outfit that her grandma put her in. And Okaran's like, what are you doing? Like, everyone in the train is staring at us, and she's changing. And I can't remember the exact line, but she's like, basically being like, well, I'm Gyaru, so as long as I'm styling, I'm killing it, basically. Like,
basically, like, my source of power is my fashion type thing, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's the cutest little outfit. It is like a dress. A lot of it is almost shirt dresses, a lot of short skirts, little kind of mini dresses. She has this kind of bigger, more puffy coat over top of it, and it's just this white dress with, towards the bottom and the sleeves of it are just two thin lines. Like, it's so cute.
I gotta look up her outfit again. I can't remember it.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's just like this little dress that has a 3/4 sleeve on it. And then it's I don't remember if it's like black and white or black and tan coat with kind of a fuzzy collar around it.
Oh, she's got the fur collar. So, little jacket, fur like around the hood. Classic.
Yeah.
And then it looks like it's kind of like a tennis looking dress. Like a sportsy, like short, super short dress. And then she's got like the thigh high socks and sneakers.
Yeah.
And a little choker.
Yeah. She's gonna kill it with that fashion.
You need the accessories.
But little does she know, she is now not spirit proof. They go back to the tunnel, go to confront Turbo Granny. Almost trying to hype herself up. And she's like, what is she gonna do? She's just a little old bitty.
Just a little bitty thing.
Yeah. Then there's Turbo Gran literally taking up the whole time.
Yeah, she's just like a giant head. And yeah. Fight ensues.
So
crazy things happen. Turbo Granny figures out, like, oh, you're trying to use my power? You know, because Okarun transforms, and then she basically just, like, takes the power out of him. Yeah. Now they're screwed.
I gave the kid his dong back. Sorry, y'all. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, not to go, like, into every single detail for the whole show, but generally, big fight happens. They end up running around the whole city.
Yeah.
Trying to track down, because it's the location-bound spirit kind of comes out.
Yeah.
And they're a giant crab.
Yeah.
And so they go around the city trying to, because what the plan was to lure Turbo Granny to the territory where Momo's grandma is at. Because she only has power when she's in the territory of the god that she made a deal with. Otherwise, she has no power.
Yeah.
So, the whole point of them going was just to lure Turbo Granny far enough away.
Out of the city. They're playing a game of tag.
And Turbo Granny's a dirty little cheater.
Yeah, she is. She's supposed to count 10 minutes, but no one told her how to count.
So she starts 1, 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yep.
And it's just like, what?
Oh, and again, the motion of the animation as she has like these hands that come up from the ground and snatch Momo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so good.
And again, not to go beat by beat, but there's the whole thing of like Akaran being like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then being like, well, I'm gonna suckle your dick. Bites onto her boob. And she's like, what are you doing? Stop biting on my boob, you little bastard. I didn't say you could do that now. It's so great.
It's great.
And they figure it out. Momo figures out her power in order to suppress the Turbo Gran. Because she makes the mistake of going back into Okarun after she cannot get him off of her due to the garb that he's in.
Yep.
It's all so beautifully done. But then we see the location-bound spirit come out. It's a big old crabby thing. We're running through the city.
And then they start, when it starts looking like they're gonna be losing, the bad guys are gonna lose.
Yeah.
They start recruiting a whole bunch of other local spirits and stuff, and they start possessing people, and then problems start happening, and it's like, oh man, now we got this whole giant horde after us.
And this is, again, another music thing. And this was the choice. This was the right choice to make. It is William Tell's Overture.
Oh, yes.
But the remix
yes.
by Oshiro, which is labeled William Hell Overture.
I love that.
Which it's the we're just gonna do that for
We're gonna do the whole song.
Oh, it is the choice. Like, it fits so well.
Oh, it was so great.
They have to now really make it out of the city. Dart. They get off course. Momo is using her ghost hands, like, up in the air to fling them around. It's
just so fun. It's a clever fight scene. The music's great. You feel the intensity. And it's still fun. Like, yeah, it's intense, but it's still fun, you know? Yeah. And I love that.
It's so good.
But, long story short, they run around. They get Turbo Granny by using a train, really. Yeah. Is they get her out of the city. And then, boom.
Yeah. At first, it's a teasing and a taunting of, like, you can't catch us because this train goes faster. And she's like, you dumbasses, trains don't always go 100 kilometers or over 100 kilometers. They have to slow down for corners. And the mom was like, no, we got you. You're on the train to Loserville. Oh my gosh.
So good.
It's so great. And we see Seiko. She's on the board. She has her warding nails.
Yep, she's ready to go.
She's ready to go. And it again, the animation, the movement of it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, the demise of this local bound spirit and Turbo Granny, because they dissipate, but we find out that this local bound spirit was the result of multiple teenage girls who were murdered and chopped up and left to rot in that tunnel.
And so it created that location bound spirit.
And we see some of these girls, like, as it's this beautiful blue color of them kind of finally being able to be laid to rest.
Yeah. Oh, it was a beautiful scene. Oh. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then they went to pay, like, respects at the actual tunnel at the end of the episode. And I'm like, I like that.
It's so important.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we get our whole little thing of just, like, well, the dead and live like the dead cannot attack the living. Like, this is just kind of a result of that, and we shouldn't do anything to disrespect the dead. Those are the rules. And, so great.
Yeah.
So great. And this is all kind of between episode 2 and 4. We have some resolve. We've defeated local bound spirit and Turbo Gran.
Turbo Gran. At least we think so.
We think.
Because at the end, there was that cute moment when, like, they go home, they have food, they're having a good time, and then it's time for Okarun to go home.
Yeah.
And then they say, like, goodbye, and then they, Momo's just standing watching, and Okarun's walking away with his little bike, and then he's thinking, like, wait, goodbye? Is that, like, goodbye? Or goodbye? Like, which one is it? And Momo's thinking the same thing. She's like, wait, is this, like, see you later? Or goodbye? And it was so cute. And then Momo goes and she says, see you tomorrow! Or something like that.
It's, like, right before he starts to leave the property.
Exactly. Just confirming that, no, I still want to keep this, still want to be friends.
And I do love AJ Beckel's voice acting, especially in these little parts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay. It's just so cute. It captures, for me, this type of show, because I feel like with a lot of Western teen romance, there is a lot of toxicity around that, where it does get very over-sexualized, way more mature. There's a lot of, like, drugs and all of that. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have a place, but this is a type of show that takes me back to the good nostalgic feeling of being a teen.
Yes, absolutely. This is the very, it's that nostalgic first love, first real crush type feeling, and the awkwardness of it, which they have that throughout the show of, like, you know, their little teenage awkward moments, which are just adorable, and the little teenage worries, you know, not only teenage, I mean, I'm sure people still have them when they're adults too, like, but like the little things of like, wait, does she want to talk to me still? Like, it's like the next day they go to school, and then Miss Ayase is waiting at the school gate, and Okaru's walking up, and he's like, what do I do? What do I do? Does she want to talk to me? Is she waiting for a friend? Is she waiting for me? What do I do? And
he's like, there's no way she's waiting for me.
No, it can't be. I'll just walk by. I won't bother her. You know, like, I don't want to bother her, which is so sad. Come on. Have more confidence in yourself, man.
He has, like, his new hairdo and everything, too. Like,
he's looking good.
Changed.
Like, come on, you're doing good. You're looking good. Feel better about yourself. Come on.
And Momo's pissed. Like, you could tell that she's like, what the fuck?
Like, did he just walk by me?
And runs and bumps into him. Like, very purposefully. And it's like, you're late.
And it's just so cute, because it's so just confirmed. It confirmed for him, like, oh no, she was waiting for me. She does want to be my friend. And it's just like, oh, it's so cute. Adorable.
So adorable.
I'm so excited to see what the next season's gonna bring in regards to their little love story. Because it's just the perfect, like, just little awkward teenage thing going on, and I love it. It's refreshing the way that they're doing it. It's just cute.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you've been reading the manga.
I've read up all of the manga that's currently I devoured it. So I'm not going to talk to that. Like, I definitely don't want to spoil anything for anyone, especially for you, Kaneki.
Oh, thank you.
It just this is a cute story.
It is. It's
so
adorable. Cute. Later on, we do meet a new character, and that might be the one thing about the series that I want to change. Is, well, that's with episode 7. After that, with the little sub-romance thing going on with the new character. Don't like that. That's just annoying to me. But it's not done terribly, so I'm not, like, angry at it, you know? It's like, okay, I guess.
I see what it adds to the plot. And, I mean, too, we do have to consider this is a shonen.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that's a part of it. I do see what you're saying, though. I'm a character apologist, if you all couldn't tell.
I don't know. I just feel like the whole multi-crush or harem thing really played out. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Fair.
It's like, just give me... I mean, not that either one of them are disloyal to each other, because they never are.
No.
Neither one of them is ever... I can't speak for the rest of the manga, but for this first season, they're both very loyal to each other. Not that they're like an official thing at any point.
Well,
but
Ken doesn't realize he has a girlfriend, this poor kid.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But they're both still very loyal to each other, but I just don't like the whole them trying to push this other romance thing happening type thing.
I will say, though, I do appreciate the comedic relief it brings. And some of the way that the story gets changed.
Maybe I just need to wait for the next season for a verdict. But I just think it's so played out, the whole just pushing multiple romances, and it's like, I'm bored of it. I'm so bored. And it's just, it's tropey, and it's cheap writing, in my opinion.
I definitely see what you're saying. I guess I'm going to get really jumping into it, though. Because I don't think it's so necessary for the storyline, but again, I'm a bit of an apologist. I also am a bit like, let my man Tetsu write what he's gonna write. Like, draw and write what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't change anything about it. And I do appreciate the conflict that it brings to the story. Where actually does get introduced into this, so I guess we might as well talk a little bit onto
yeah.
episode 5.
Yeah.
And how the characters introduced. So we have, again, like, we're post them fighting. Ken is like, oh my gosh, Momo wants to, like, she wants to talk to me. She wants to be around me. And it's like, Ken, you have a girlfriend now. You don't even know it. But there's this whole thing where they get, in, as we talked about before, for the longest time, have been like, I want to talk to Akira. Like, I want to talk about DanDaDan. And they're waiting till lunch hour. And it's this cutest little, like, inner monologue back and forth of, like, Momo being like, I want to talk to Akira about aliens. And Akira being like, I want to talk to Miss Ayase about ghosts. And he's sketching in his notebook, which I love that little detail that we get throughout as his sketches in the notebook about his life.
So cute.
So cute. And then we get there at lunch break. And I had to, like, sono this to find it. They're trying to look for each other. And again, like, I can't help but think that with Ebel Gongora, if that was part of why the choice was to use some Spanish influence in the music. But we get this fantastic flamenco guitar.
Oh, yes.
As they're trying to find each other. And I had to sono it. Apologies. My notes. So, again, in episode 5, like, where are your balls? That's the name of the episode. So, the song is Introductions and Variation on a Theme by Mozart, performed by Fernando Sor and Jonathan Molman. So, that's what's playing. You need to listen to the song, like, 2 or so minutes in, and that's when you're gonna recognize what's playing.
Yep.
Yeah, I really had to, like, look in deep and finally had to sono, right? Sono, that's the...
I have no idea.
I used the Google version of look up a song,
Yeah.
but I had to do that because it was killing me, and I'm like, what is this song? Because I love flamenco guitar.
Flamenco, yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, it's good. I love
Flamenco guitar. Juan Serrano. It's one of our favorite vinyls we have. Anyway. And we get this, and they're trying to look for each other.
And they're just, like, running around the school. Like, one goes to the cafeteria, and the other one goes to, like, the roof. And then, like, oh, well, maybe they're at the cafeteria. Oh, maybe they're in the yard. And then they just... It's cute. And it's, like, a little frustrating, but it's done in a cute way.
And then they find each other by walking into each other and clicking on each other's teeth.
Bonk their teeth together because they just literally walk into each other. And it was at the end of the lunch period, too. So they're like, oh, man, well, I guess I'm just not going to be able to talk to them. And then they go to leave and bonk. And
it's like, there you are. It's like, what are you doing here? And it, like, is revealed that they've been trying to look for each other in the entire lunch hour.
It was cute.
And Momo's friends see this, and I don't know how they got this, because it's like, from the time between clinking your teeth to each other, like, how did they not see this whole thing?
Yeah.
But they're like, you two are totally making out! And then it causes this conflict, because Momo's like, I wouldn't make out with a nerd like him, basically.
And then poor Okaru, he's like, oh...
Yeah, but he, like, gets defensive, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, and they're both like, fine, I don't want to talk to you anyway. And then Ken's thinking on his actions. He goes to the bathroom, and there's a problem. As I said.
Yeah, we thought we got rid of Turbo Granny, right? Well, at least solve the problems with Turbo Granny. But he is missing some specific equipment.
As I said, like, where are your balls? And it is very cute, and you'll see the gif, like, this is a very iconic scene from it. He, like, goes to run to Momo's class, and he's like, Miss Ayase, I need to talk to you, and he's, like, hunched down. Because he's really obviously been running, yeah. It is this whole thing where she's like, I told you I didn't want to talk to you. And she's like, you said you didn't want to talk to me either. She's like, I just said that out of, like, frustration and getting defensive. The truth is, I really like talking to you.
Oh,
so cute. But then she gets real mean, and her friends are even like, dude, like, why are you so harsh on the guy? Like, this is not like you.
Yeah.
And I feel for Momo because she has the feels and she can't handle it.
She doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
And so she starts, she snaps at him and she's really mean. Mm-hmm. Then he leaves and like you said, the friend's like, hey, that was way harsh.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Mm-hmm. And then she's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Post school, they talk further about that, resolve that. And then poor Oko needs to be like, well, no, we have bigger problems. And she's like, what are you talking? Momo gets... And he's like, no, like, my balls are gone. And then we cut to, we're back at Momo's house. Momo is dying.
She is laughing so hard. She's on the ground, like, dying.
Seiko, which we didn't quite get in, but as a whole part of, like, after they fight Turbo Gran, she's like, let me see it.
Yeah, let me make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, let me make sure you actually have your dog back. And then she's like...
And he fought her off. Yeah. And he's like, no, it's fine. She's like, okay. Well, this time now Granny's like, well, this is your fault. You didn't let me check.
Now you know what I wanted to see. Like, oh my gosh. And then again, she's like, okay, I'm going to take a look. And he's like, let it in. And she's like, no, dummy. I'm going to take a look at your soul.
But she says it in such a way.
Yeah. And then it's like this whole thing with her, and she's like, yep, there's definitely something in there. She's like, Momo, go grab $1 something and a wash tub full of water. And we get this little ceremony where poor Oker, and again, this poor kid gets put through so much. He's getting hit by a giant paper fan.
Yeah, which is like it's a traditional thing where it supposedly banishes evil spirits. Mm-hmm. It's also used in a lot of comedic relief things in like Japanese TV shows. So it's a little funny thing.
So he's getting beat with it. Yeah. And verbally abused.
Poor guy. Poor little guy.
But then Seiko has to... And again, where you brought up, it's like, it is a comedic... Like, this show is very much like an ode to traditional movie, like film and TV shows within Japan. Mm-hmm. But anyway, and she's like, no, I'm not talking to you. And then she's like, Momo, did you see that? And Momo's like, well, no, yeah, because we figure out, like, part of Momo's thing is she can see auras. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, I did see a little something. She's like, okay, next time. Seiko's like, okay, next time, pull it out. Mm-hmm. And again, just like the motion of the animation, Momo, like, has it, and she's like, yes, I have it. Pulls it out. Like, poor Ken, he gets toppled to the floor with all this water. And the mom was like, I'm sorry, like, I had it, I don't know where it went. I'm sorry, Grandma. Mm-hmm. And the doll she brings forth is a lucky cat.
You know, the little wavy army thingy.
Yep.
Kitties.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Brings good luck and fortune. And it's like, you can tell that a talisman has been placed on it. And Momo's freaking out, and Seiko's like, nope, give it a second. Mm-hmm. The talisman bleeds out. All of a sudden, this little cat starts sweating. Blinks. And again, the motion of it getting up and scurrying and starting to run away. Uh-huh. Perfection.
Fantastic.
Perfection.
No notes.
Yeah. No notes. And Seiko's like, it's getting away. Get it. Like, gets away, and the mom's like, okay, no, I can do this. Taps into her spiritual power. Mm-hmm. Finds it. Holds it down.
It's just this tiny little thing.
And it's this tiny little lucky cat. Opens the pantry door. That's just like screaming, like, let me go.
And lo and behold.
Yep.
It is the infamous Turbo Granny.
Gone, but not ever gone or forgotten.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we get it's this whole thing where everyone's like, yeah, you think you guys could have gotten rid of me that easily? I put myself into the boy before I, you know, you thought that you killed me, and I've just been laying dormant until I could get strong enough to come out and kill y'all. And then she has this whole thing, and she's like, well, you want your balls back? go on, start murdering them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do have Okarun kind of like transforms into himself, or his alter ego self.
Yeah. But it looks a little different this time because we learn Turbo Granny got separated from her powers. So now Okarun has her powers without Turbo Granny.
Yeah. Which solves a lot of problems, but...
Now he can go home. He doesn't have to be within Miss IS's line of sight at all times. Mm-hmm. He can go home. He can sleep, not being in the shrine.
Yeah.
Which this is good. This is good.
We had a bit of that, like, post them defeating Turbo Granny, but again, there's problems still.
It's still some issues. We're missing some balls.
We're missing some balls.
Which you found one the other day.
I did find one.
You found one of Okarun's balls.
I will post that. We had a Christmas tree, and one of the ornaments. Our cats really love to bat stuff around the floor, especially Gigi. Mm-hmm. He is a black cat. He is literally my Gigi. Mm-hmm. And so he likes to bat that around. I found that the other day.
A perfect. It looks like the right size and everything, like a little gold ball.
We got your ball back.
We found it for you guys. You don't need to worry.
But yeah, we figure out Turbo Gran was like, okay, I'll give it back, but you have to kill them. And then it turns out she was lying. She's like, well, I don't have them.
Yeah.
She's like, I'd give them back to you if I could, I swear, but I don't have them. So they kind of have to cut a deal. It's like, okay, give the balls back. We'll give you your power back. Turbo Gran's like, well, don't have them. She explains it's like, well, as a part of like me going back into him and like with all this power, they got created into 2 golden balls. Mm-hmm. And I sort of dropped them. So they have to go try to find them. Mm-hmm. And this is when we do get introduced to the character that you were talking about.
Well, didn't we meet her a little bit earlier, technically?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, yeah, because there was like a little drama thing that happened in the school.
Sorry, gosh, I skipped a lot. Yeah, there was this whole drama thing.
Yeah. Just like a little moment, but it was when they were mad at each other, and they didn't want to like talk to each other, and Okarun's walking in the hallway, and then this other girl, pink hair, her name was...
Ira.
I keep wanting to say Akko. I guess I'm stuck on Little Witch Academia.
Oh, it's fine.
Well, Ira, pink-haired girl, and apparently she's, like, considered super cute and pretty or whatever. And she walks up to him, and she's being, like, super nice to him. She's, like, making conversation, being really nice. Because she had, like, bumped into him with her book bag. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. That must have hurt. I didn't mean to hurt you like that. And then she's, like, just being really nice to him.
My water bottle's in my book bag, and it makes it real heavy.
Which that makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
What kind of a water bottle do you have in your book bag that you want? Anyways, making conversation, and then Momo sees what's happening, and she overheard her talking to her friend later.
Yeah, Ira talking with her little goonies, her little friends.
Ken Takakura walks away. She goes back to her friend. They're still all in the same hallway. Momo overhears her talking to her friend, like, that's probably the closest that a nerd like that will ever get to a pretty girl, or whatever.
He'll be thinking about that for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross. And then Momo drops a wash tub on her head.
Ultimate power move. And then levels it up. Goes and grabs Ken's, like, arm. Like, goes into... He's like... Damn, Okarun, you're looking sharp in those glasses. Like, again, this kid has a girlfriend and does not realize it.
Yeah, for real.
And it's like, some girls are just too stupid to see past that. They deserve having wash tubs fall onto their heads instead of having guys fall for them.
Yeah. And I was like, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great scene.
Momo has the best power moves.
She seriously does.
Yes.
But there's our introduction to Ira. Mm-hmm. She's kind of bitchy.
Yeah.
You know. She's
just too pretty.
She's just so pretty.
So pretty. Which, again, as we learn, like, okay, we don't have Okarons balls. Because there's talk of, like, yeah, probably a yokai has it because they would be attracted to it from the life force. But then it's kind of like next day, we're at school, it's like there's a possibility that a person has it. And we find that Turbo Gran has snuck into Okaran's backpack in the next day of school. Has been out and about walking the school. Another favorite line is Okaran finds her in the bag and he's like, well, no, this is after. And I'm sorry, I do have to bring this up where because of the whole wash tub incident, Ira has started a rumor about Momo that she's a little slut that will just sleep with anyone.
Yeah.
As long as they're a guy.
Yeah.
As long as they're a dude, at least. I want to say is one of the, like, lines that a guy gives. And one of the kids in Okaran's class notes, he's like, hey, you've been hanging out with Momo Ayase a lot lately. And he's like, oh yeah, we're friends. And he's like a shy little self, and he's like, she's real cute. And he's like, what, Momo cute? Like, I guess she kind of is. I never thought about it like that.
It just kind of clicks in his head, like, oh, she is cute.
Like, she is cute. And then this guy being like, I've heard that she sleeps with anyone. Is that right? Like, you want to tell me more about that? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it was basically like, oh, you should introduce me to her. I hear that she sleeps around with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he, gets pissed.
He gets pissed.
He starts transforming into his alter ego.
Yeah.
And he's like choking out this dude.
Yeah.
He's like, well, tell me who started this rumor. Because she's not that kind of girl.
Yeah.
Wow. What a man.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
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 So, yeah, then Turbo Granny pops out.
Yeah. Being like, having problems, are we? She talks about it's like being in this new school, and she's like, how fancy schmancy. I don't know why I love these lines so much. It's just like
she's
these few
funny.
little, she's so
fun.
great.
I like her.
I love Turbo Gran. I love Turbo Gran. But anyway, yeah, we get this whole thing, and we come to find out who has picked up one of these golden balls.
Yeah.
But Ira.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
In her eyes, it's that she's just so pretty that the heavens have bestowed upon her this gold ball so she can defeat demons. And she believes that Momo is a demon because she does see Momo's ghost hands, basically.
Yeah,
she calls them her demon wings.
Crazy. She gets a whole complex about it.
And it very much alludes to, do you remember that story of, oh my gosh, and it's such a tragic story, but the group of friends who attacked their one friend in the name of Slenderman.
Oh, yeah.
That's immediately what I thought of as we go.
Oh, yeah, with the episode. Because, later what happens is Ira goes up to Momo, like, hey, can I talk to you? She's like, weird, but okay. And they go out. She's cornered by Ira and her two friends, and they, beat her up a little bit. They tie her up. And it looks like she's going to try to kill her. Yeah. It very much is that vibe of, like, the friends cornering another friend. Not that they were really friends, but, just...
Yeah, no, but that's immediately what I thought of. I'm like, gosh, and it does make me wonder, is there another story in Japan that, like, something like, I imagine it happens throughout a lot of cultures. Where,
of, like, friends turning on each other type thing?
Yeah, friends turning on each other, or...
in, like, a murderous way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or torturing, or, like, in the name of some type of figure.
Well, I haven't gotten into Japanese true crime a lot. The only two I can really think of is the one where that one family was murdered in their home by this guy. They've never. It's a cold case. They have no idea who did it.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. He like stayed in their house for like a long time, and he like murdered the whole family, and they've never figured out who did it. And then the other one, I feel so horrible. I don't remember her name. But yeah, the girl that was brutally, horrifically tortured by teenage boys over, I think it was weeks or even longer.
Yeah.
And they never went to jail or anything.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you all. I brought it to that terrible place.
Yeah, it's just awful.
It did, like, that was my first thought.
I thought she was gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going dark. Like, this is terrible. Because she did start, Ira did 100% seemed that delusional.
Yeah.
Enough to be able to just murder somebody.
Well, and part of that, too, she picked up this gold ball.
Uh-huh.
She's able to see spirits now.
Yeah.
So there's a particular spirit that she sees that's a lady in a red dress that's getting closer and closer. And she is convinced that it's Momo's familiar that she's sending after her. So yeah, she's and her friends are even being like, Ira, you're acting like real weird, but you're a friend, so I guess we'll go along with it. They get her a crucifix that's actually a lighter.
But they didn't know that.
They didn't know that. And like a holy Bible. For some reason, she has a cape.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I think it just adds to like how crazy she's gone.
Yeah.
In this, like, girl, are you okay? You need a psychologist.
Yeah. So like she gets her friends to tackle Momo onto the ground. They zip tie Momo's hands behind her back. Luckily, Momo has her ghost hands. Yeah. Pretty much. I don't know how Ira's friends survived this being thrown.
They like broke a wall or something,
yeah,
or
like
knocked in some boxes, but
because they're of course in an abandoned industrial area, Ira has to like lure her out somewhere.
Yeah, which I would be kind of sus if this girl I never talked to came up to me. Is like, hey, I want to talk to you for a second. Meet me at this abandoned industrial park.
Yeah.
No. We can go grab a coffee. That's what we're gonna do in a public space.
But as we learn further in, because it's this play on the story of Turbograms being like, I found the golden ball. There's this mysterious woman around your campus that I need to tell you about. And we start to see, as a part of all this, of Momo getting attacked, Okuran's running in. Kind of being like, no, that's not what's happening here. It's her that's in danger.
Yeah.
And then Ira gets snatched up by the crazy... I love the design.
It's wacky. Very colorful, saturated colors.
By this giant woman. You can tell that she is some type of monster. Again, she's in this red dress, kind of like... Pinky red. It's kind of magenta-y. It's not cute and fluffy, but it's definitely a bit more of like a formal gown.
Yeah.
With this high collar and these fitted sleeves onto it.
And puffs.
Puff sleeves. And she has the longest, silkiest black hair, wearing a little bit of a hat. And yeah, it's just... Her face is very sharp in the angles, and it's like her jawline goes out and then back in for her front teeth, and her eyes are completely hollowed out and have these lines around it. Again,
it's freaky looking.
It's so freaky looking.
Well done.
Yeah,
well done.
So well done. And then she's like, I finally have you back, my Ira. It's like, I've been waiting for you to be able to see me for so long. And we figure out it's part of Turbo Granny's being like, if a human has that golden ball, they're going to be able to start to see spirits. Which means spirits will begin to see them.
Yep. It's like it's a two-way street here.
Yeah.
So not a good thing.
No.
Which makes sense. I like that interpretation because in a lot of folklore and things, who are the people that are being most bothered by spirits and supernatural things? It's people who can see those things to begin with.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And we get this whole story of just, okay, she's come in and she's like, I've been waiting for you to see me for so long, this big monster talking to Ira.
Yeah. My first thought was like,
Yeah.
oh, is this like a mom or something? Maybe her mom died when she was young. Which, yeah, apparently that is what happened, but it's not her mom.
It's not her mom, but she called her mommy many, many years ago.
Yep.
And she was like, I was so happy during that day. I've never been happier. Like, please say it again.
Call me mommy again.
Call me mommy.
Come on, sweet Ira. Call me mommy again. Yeah.
It's freaky.
It's freaky.
Yeah. And at one point she begins to cry and it's pus coming out of
it was so
the
gross.
whole, yeah.
It was like foamy. Like,
yeah.
ew.
Yeah.
And Ira, being her delusional self, was like, I've been brought here to purge the world of all demons and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then she's like, Ira, is this really how you feel? Yeah. And then she's like pissed and ends up, what was it? She swallows her? Mm. Yeah, she just swallows her.
Yeah. Well, no, first she swallows Okarun. Because it's like, okay,
we need to find her. That's right.
Yeah. We need to fight her now. She swallows Okarun because she sees Okarun as a threat to Ira and herself. And that is where we get like the Ira being like, no, I fight demons like you. She's like, and then swallows Ira. And then Mit's like, Momo's trying to fight her. Momo gets eaten too. She gets swallowed whole too. And this is when we find out with little Turbo Ground, because we do have a whole little thing where she uses Momo's friend's phone, Muko's phone, in order to be like, yep, that's an acrobat Silky. Like,
which I find interesting. How does she know how to work the internet? If she's like an old lady that's just been a spirit in a tunnel for ages, like
because she's Turbo Ground, she's boundless.
I guess so. Well, I guess the odd wayward traveler maybe dropped a phone in the tunnel or something.
Probably. And she just started to learn. Probably.
Maybe.
Honestly,
it's probably what happened.
It probably is what happened. But yeah, anyway, we get this, and everyone is swallowed. And then Turbo Granny starts talking off Acrobatic Silky. Being like, okay, you need to spit them out now. And Acrobatic like, who are you talking to? And she's like, don't you dare disrespect your elders. I love Turbo Ground. She's great.
So fun.
She is so great.
Sassy.
Yeah. And then we get this beautiful scene of Acrobatic Silky is then engulfed in flames. And Turbo Ground's being like, well, you know, when you swallowed that one girl, she wasn't holding a crucifix, it was a lighter.
And you swallowed some hair when you swallowed that last one.
Yeah. And either that girl or Momo, they lit that lighter while they were in your stomach. Which means you're all burnt out. Like, it just is, it's so perfectly put together. And she's like, yeah, it may be a coinkadink, but when I'm around, there's no such things as coinkadinks.
Because now she's a lucky cat.
Yep, she's a lucky cat. So everyone gets spit out. The lighter goes flying. Slides across the floor.
And she just, like, stops it with their
and she's, like, arms crossed, and she's so smug with herself.
She's like, yeah, take that.
Yeah, like, me. I love her little face. Oh, it's so great. It's so great.
Fits her personality, though, because, I mean, the whole thing that got them to really win against Turbo Granny to begin with was to go against her pride.
Yeah.
As that if you challenge her to a race, she will take you up no matter what, because she has to be the best.
Yeah.
And I love that they keep that personality. Like, she doesn't really change. It's just like, she is that prideful type person.
Yeah. She's not helping these kids per se to help them. But to be like, no, I win in this scenario.
Yeah.
I will always be on top.
Yeah.
Oh, love her. Spits out.
It spits them out. Momo's like, Okarun's and Miss Ira is just kind of passed out cold. Yeah. Well, that's what we think at first anyways. Yeah. But either way, she's not available.
She's not available. Then it becomes... it's so great where it's like Momo's like, okay, I have a plan, run.
Mm-hmm.
They're running all around.
Mm-hmm.
Okuran has to hold Aira this entire time.
Yep.
He's like, man, this whole saving chicks thing is, I'm not about this.
He's his little depressed self.
Yeah, his little alter ego depressed self. He was the cherry pop rock side of our Pentak group. Anyway, he's running through, and the plan does initially work, which is get acrobatic Silky to trap her hair in so many things, especially now that it's all burnt and ratty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That they stop her in place, basically.
Yeah, which it does work. Mm-hmm. She basically stops in place, and then Momo's like, okay, beat her up now.
Yeah.
And Okuran's like, how? I don't know how to do that. And then they're arguing, and then as they're arguing, she starts breaking free, you know, she's starting to pull hard enough that she's just snapping her hair off.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we only have so much time. You gotta do it now. And so what does little Okuran do? He decides to just
run in.
Just literally, he just launches himself head first, like he's a torpedo.
Got it.
Like, but it's so funny looking because he's not like Supermaning it or anything. It's like arms to his sides, launches himself.
Yeah.
At the acrobatic Silky.
Knocks out acrobatic Silky. Oh, and we have to laugh now.
Yeah, because it gets sad.
It gets so sad. Oh,
yeah.
It gets so sad.
So, acrobatic Silky's down for the count. They think everything's okay. Turbo Granny's like, oh, check her pockets. Or, I'm gonna check her pockets real quick for the ball.
Yeah.
For Kentucky Kuro's balls.
Yep. Yep.
And she's looking around and she's like, they did find it, yeah. So she finds the ball. And she's like, yeah, well, this here little girlie's dead.
Yeah.
By the way.
We have another problem.
This girlie here's dead.
This here girl is dead.
And they're like, what? You know, because,
yeah.
like, and then it takes, like, a very serious turn. Like, everything turns very serious. She's dead. That's...
Before we get too serious, though.
Yes.
I do need to bring up that... And this is open for anyone. This is my personal tattoo idea that I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, but please, if you're like, yes, just go ahead and do it. I don't take ownership of it. I don't own my ideas. I just come up with them. I so desperately want, like, a manga strip little thing of Turbo Granny with the caption of, this here girl's dead. Specifically, I kind of want it on the side of my buttocks.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you. Okay, this is going to sound horrible, but I'm so excited for the future where whatever mortician's taking care of you.
Or coroner or medical.
Or coroner, whoever it is.
And this is part of why I want this, is one day this will be actualized.
Yeah, and then they'll look at that, and I hope they laugh.
And trust me, this is part of like we have dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Just a little like lore into us. Part of how Kaneki and I met is we were both in school for like funeral, like death and dying classes.
Yeah.
Funeral directory, like mortuary science, like that. That's how we met.
Yeah. Well, it was at we ended up working at the exact same funeral home. And we were there for a little bit, and then we went into school at the same time, which I remember wasn't the original plan.
No.
I think you were supposed to start before me or something, but then, or vice versa. I don't remember.
I'm glad life happened.
I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Because it was great. We got to go to school together, and it was good, and it was great. But yeah, we go way back.
Yeah, we go way back, and so that is part of, like, I really do. And if you're like, ooh, actually, that sounds like a cool DanDaDan.
I think it's cute.
Do it.
Just
go ahead, take it. I don't care.
Do it. There's gonna be a future with like lots of people with these tattoos.
I hope.
That would be wonderful.
That would be. Because one day it will be actualized. This here girl's dead.
That is such a long run joke. Like getting this tattooed on is like, all right, this joke's gonna pay off in like 40 years.
But yeah. Again, laughing now before we cry.
Yeah, for real.
Because, yeah, this here girl is dead.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bigger problem on their hands. Because, yeah, did Ira take Momo out here in the thoughts that she's going to kill Momo? Yes. But Momo's not the one that ended up dying in the situation.
Yeah. And so they're like, okay, we gotta...
Trying to revive her. Mm-hmm. Momo's like, okay, I'm going to use my spirit's hands, like ghost hands, to try to massage her heart. Okay, Akaran. Breathe, like start giving breaths. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, Turbo Granny, call an ambulance. And she's like, I don't much see the point. And, I mean, but this is when acrobatic Silky comes back. Mm-hmm. And she's obviously distraught at this point.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's pointless. Like, her aura is gone. An aura is like a battery. Once it's drained, it's gone. Mm-hmm. Give my aura to her. I'm almost like, how? What are you talking? And she's like, like, you have to connect our auras together. It's the same concept as a jumper cable, which the other translation is a communication cable.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the sub-translation, but in the dub translation, it's jumper cable, which again,
great translation.
I love whoever made these choices and the language used for the dub, just bravo.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You're
great
fantastic.
Job.
Yeah. We love you for it. Anyway, so the concept is, okay, Momo's gonna hold on to acrobatic Silky's aura and connect it into Ira's aura. Ugh, I feel it already. Okay.
And then the moment she connects them, it's like we switch to a movie.
Yeah. So we cut out, this is the end of episode 6. We start episode 7. We actually don't get the intro.
It just goes right into this.
It just goes right into us. And it is like a movie. It is black and white, running around city streets.
It's like first person, hazy, gasping woman running around. You can tell she's frantic. Something's wrong. Something is horribly, horribly wrong. And then it just kind of cuts to an alarm clock going off. Yeah. And that this lady wakes up. I didn't realize where she was at first. I thought like, oh, okay, this is like her little apartment, and then there's this other guy. Then I see, oh, he left some cash on the table. Oh, she doesn't have any clothes on. Okay, now she's leaving. She's going home. Oh, she was at a love hotel. Yep. She's a sex worker. Yep. And then on the way home, she passes by, lo and behold, the same dress our acrobatic Silky was wearing. And she looks at it, and she looks kind of sad for a moment. Yeah. And then she goes to get home. It's this little apartment. Not anything fancy, you know. Nothing fancy. No. And she pauses at the door, and she seems just so defeated and tired. She looks so heavy. And then opens the door. This little girl comes up to her, smiles at her with this big toothy grin. Something has to be said, though. The 3D animation in that moment, not the best. The kid looked a little creepy. Yeah. But
it's a bit fish-eyed.
It's a bit fish-eyed.
Yeah.
Past that point, beautifully done.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I love how she's missing a little tooth.
Yes. You can tell she's a small child. Innocent. She's a little toothy grin. She's adorable. She's laughing. She's so happy to see her mom home. Yeah. And oh my gosh, this whole little movie that goes on is just beautiful. And the next little while is just showing this beautiful montage of how hard this mom works to, provide a life for her kid. So we see her working a job at a convenience store. We see her doing her nightly stuff at the Love Hotel. She's doing all this other stuff.
She's giving her full, self and her body
She's giving every ounce of herself.
Yeah.
And then we see that she's counting up like a stack of money.
Mm-hmm.
She goes home and she gives her daughter that same dress that was in the window. And her daughter's so happy.
Yeah.
Of course.
And we see too, she's so happy, and part of this, I don't know how much you may have read into the story. Like, again, she's having to work all these part-time jobs. She's a sex worker on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see too, it seems that she was a failed dancer of sorts.
Yeah, because she did have some moments where she was teaching her daughter how to dance, and she has a she's very graceful.
Yeah, classical ballet. Like
she had the ballet shoes, and her little daughter was wearing the little point shoes. So cute. So adorable.
Teaching her dance has her in this prettiest little dress that you can tell she's been saving up, like having to put aside to buy this dress for her daughter. And the most beautiful montage of their day-to-day life, her living in this dress at this point.
This girl's in love with this dress.
Like, it is a little girl, like,
yeah, and she's in that age where, so like that age where little kids are just completely enamored with their moms or their dads. She's at that age. She's just a little girl. Her mom is her whole world.
Yeah.
And, she loves this dress. They are each other's best friends. Like, this mom is doing everything for her child.
Yeah.
And then they have her little birthday. They blow out the little candles on the little cake. I think there were 5 candles on the cake, I want to say.
Yeah.
She's small, 5 years old.
Yeah.
And then they're just standing outside on the little balcony looking at the stars.
Or, sorry, not to be, but, like, they're sitting in this room of the place that they're living. And the little girl's asleep on her mom's lap.
Oh, that was cute too.
And she's the name of the song that's playing through this is called Love Theme. That's when you look up the DanDaDan soundtrack, and again, you see her, like, this is where you see, this person has a background in piano.
Oh yeah.
Just like the
beautiful piano theme, just everything. It feels like a movie. So cinematic. The music was perfect. The animation was great and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the whole time, I'm thinking this kid's gonna die. She's gonna get cancer and die or something, because that's how this story goes. It's so much worse.
It's so much worse.
It's so much worse.
And we see this mom just giving everything that she can for her child to be able to live in general. And then just, as we talked about before, and the story isn't fully confirmed, but just it seems possibly in, like, gang or loan shark dealings, or as a part of some of the work that she has to do, these men come into her home.
And it's a very abrupt cut.
Yeah.
Excellent way that they did it. Very jarring.
Yeah.
So jarring. Everything's fine. Everything's beautiful. You can feel, at least I felt like, oh no, kid's gonna die. They're gonna get the cancer diagnosis. Something's gonna happen. And then cut, no more music. She's screaming.
Yeah.
Child is crying. There are these men in her home breaking everything, looking for money, like, oh, you're holding out on us, and they're tearing apart their home. She tries to fight back.
Yeah.
They shove her. She falls. I think she hits her head.
Yeah.
She falls into a glass sliding door, and she gets glass shards all up in her. And then she's kind of just on the futon, kind of out of it.
After she's thrown into the glass, kind of screaming, and again, the movement, she gets up, and it's animalistic, like you would see out of a mother in the situation. She gets up, she's all for, she goes to launch at these men, and they basically, like, slash her across the face, throw her back down. Knocks her head, comes to, And part of being knocked down too is we see, her trying to get to her daughter, is we see a frame of her and her daughter in a picture. Mm-hmm. And blood being smeared across that.
Yeah.
She's trying to get to her. Oh gosh, it's so brutal.
It's just mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Because she's doing everything she can, and then in the end she couldn't do anything. Mm-mm. And they pick up her kid, and they leave.
Yeah.
And her kid is kicking and crying the whole way. And she can't do anything about it.
Mm-mm. She comes to. She does her best to... Mm-hmm. Which... I know it's animation, but just, like, even thinking, like, yeah, who wouldn't have acted... You wouldn't have called authorities for that. You would go running out in the street.
It's your child, of
no
course
shoes on,
you
you're bleeding everywhere, you're in a torn up nightgown.
Yeah.
And that's where we see where that opening scene of the black and white in the streets.
And that's her. It's a frantic woman bleeding out. She's running, it's raining, and she can't... Her vision's all hazy because she's dying.
Yeah.
And she sees a car, probably the kidnappers or whoever they were, driving away. And she trips, she falls, and then it cuts to this scene of like a mirror lake.
Yeah.
And it's just galaxy everywhere. And she's just beautiful dancing. It's just her dancing. Yeah. And beautiful. The piano comes back in at this point.
Oh gosh. Just like this. Dun, 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 dun. I get that stuck in my head all the time. Like.
Beautiful score. And then all of a sudden now she's just standing in a crowd of people. Everything's kind of white out. Oh, did I miss something?
I am so sorry, because I don't want to be this way. And
yeah.
This is one of the things that's a little bit more evident in the manga. Like, and I'm so sorry now when you all rewatch this, and then it's like, oh, she's dancing on this mirror lake. It's the galaxy. It's beautiful. You have a little cut too after one of her jumps. Mm-hmm. In her dancing, she jumps, and you hear a thud. That thud is her jumping off of a building.
So she killed herself?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's when we cut.
So that's how she actually died.
That's how she actually died.
That makes so much more sense. Okay, because when I watched the clip, I was like, she was not injured seriously enough to die. Like, she had glass and she was bleeding and everything, but I don't understand how she would die. Maybe she had, like, a head wound or something. Mm-hmm. That manga description, though, that makes so much more sense.
So it's, like, reading that and then rewatching, it's like, oh, that's
what that abrupt thud was.
Yeah.
Okay, because they didn't show anything. It was just a thud and then black.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking.
It is very heartbreaking.
That's worse.
It's so much worse. That's, yeah.
Well, I can't imagine having to try to live with the fact that your child has been taken by horrible people. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's going to happen to your kid?
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it.
No. And even as you're some head trauma, being out, cut up, like, this happens, and as you were about to say, we kind of cut to white, and she's in a crowd of people, and she's a ghost at this point, which is why I had to bring that up, because it plays into, we then see little Ira, and we get a little clip of this, and we understand why Acrobat Silky is obsessed with her, as Ira going up to her and saying, like, calling her mommy.
And she doesn't have any memories at this point. She's confused. She's like, I feel like I was looking for somebody. Like, what? I can't remember. What was it? Yeah. And, like you said, little Ira comes up, grabs her hand. She's like, Mommy? And she looks down. Oh, you're not my mommy. And then she just runs off back to her dad. And then we learn Ira's mom did die when she was young because father tells her. Also, side note, terrible way to tell a child about death.
Do not do this.
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
Like, truly, this is a horrible way to explain death to children. Don't tell them, oh, they went away for a long time. And until she's back, you have to be strong or whatever. It's very confusing for children. It is not a good way to explain death to a child.
No. It's not good. Again, just...
Yeah.
Ira didn't choose the life that was given to her. Like...
Yeah. But... And because of this, after, Ira goes away, we see a little clip of her mom going into the crematorium.
Yeah.
To be cremated. And we understand, okay, Ira's mom did die when she was young, you know. And then we go back to the acrobatic Silky, and we see her, oh, that's right, I remember. I'm Ira's mom. I'm Ira's mommy. That's what I'm here for. And I'm never going to let anybody hurt her. And we see her start to transform. Her hair starts growing out longer. And then we see that the acrobatic Silky hair. And we're like, oh.
Yep, and the transformation of her eyes, too, getting all about and intense like they are. And she's like, I won't let anyone hurt her, ever. And it cuts, and then we cut to Ira and Momo being it's like they've woken him up after the worst nightmare ever.
Yeah.
And then Okaran's like, oh, you did it. Like, you're gonna pay now.
Yeah, because he just sees Momo crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what did you do? Yeah. You're gonna have it now.
And then Momo's like, please, no. Stop. Like, I'm
Leave
good.
her alone. Yeah.
I'm good. Ooh. It's getting to me. Ooh, it's getting to me. Oh.
We forgot the tissue box.
We forgot the tissue box. And we need to make sure we're recording too on it. But, So then, like, Ira's shocked back to life, basically. Reasonably so.
Yeah, she basically was.
Like, she's
shocked back to life.
Shell-shocked at this point. And then we see acrobatic Silky's literally starting to fall apart.
She's disintegrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like her body is slowly turning to ash and then just blowing away.
Yeah. And Momo kind of like, what's happening? And Turbo Granny is explaining, like, well, that was, like, she gave her aura to Ira, that's it. Like, she's going away now, and with all the regrets that she has in life, she has only one place to go, the void. It'll be like she never existed. Almost
no one will remember her, she won't matter, nothing.
Yep. Nothing. And Momo's not about, she's like, that's terrible, like, how?
Yeah.
And Turbo Granny's like, that's the way it is. And this is where, at least in my, like, again, I'm an apologist, character apologist, but it is this whole thing of just being like, we cannot have just gone through all of that, and there's nothing at the, like, what, that's messed up, that's terrible. And acrobatic Silky going just into this whole monologue of, like, I love you so much. Like, I wish I could have bought you more pretty dresses. I should have played with you so much more. If only you were born into another family. You would have been so much more happier. You were miserable with me. And again, it's like she's disintegrating. She's going quick. And I love the animation, just the way that her legs literally collapse. And then it's just like her top torso part in this dress. And again, the sound design, you hear the same running of like when this little girl ran up to her mom after opening the door. And it's Ira, and she goes and she embraces acrobatic Silky so hard. He's like, you were the best mommy ever. I was happy. The happiest in the universe. I'm so glad that you were my mom. And then we do get that we see the literal transition of Ira's put acrobatic Silky to rest. And the episode 7 is To a Kinder World. That's the name of the episode. And it's like, please guide them both to a kinder world. It's peak storytelling.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Again, the whole beginning little thing could be its own separate thing.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
It's so well done. I love this type of storytelling too. It really speaks to the fact that a lot of people want to think of so many things as black and white, good or bad, but very rarely is that the case. Most of the time, monsters are created. They're not born. And this is a prime example of that, of society and the aspects around that, not being able to get aid, having to work yourself so hard to, even at the end, have your family literally ripped from you. That creates monsters. That's what created Acrobat Silky. She didn't want to be this way. She didn't choose to be this way. And I think that, again, I love this type of storytelling. It speaks to that, and not to get into like current events and things happening around us right now too, but just in some of the happenings of this, what's going on in the States right now, as you all may know, I'm like yeah, these people aren't per se forgivable. Yeah. But it's like, we can see that a lot of it stems from these people having really deep daddy issues. Yeah. So it's like, if Acrobatic Silky could in the end and come to realize like what has caused her issues, and these group of kids can realize what her issues are and not see her as a monster, and realize that she didn't want to be this way. And I know it takes a lot of work. And as I was talking about like myself too in relation to some of these characters, it's like you have to work on that. You have to be aware. And as we were talking about earlier with substance, it's like, if you have a problem, it's not your fault. It's not. Like, very rarely.
So many things go into firstly having access. Having everything that makes it so you're susceptible to it. Yeah. It's really genuinely not, it's not a moral failure.
No. Yeah. Acrobatic, so like, there's no moral failure there. She was in a certain situation that anyone else, as much as you want to try to say that you might handle it differently, you probably wouldn't have. You probably would have done the same things. Like, as I was saying before, if you were really a mother in that situation, and I know I'm not a mother, so I can't fully speak to that, but yeah, you're not going to be calling the authorities. You're going to go running out that door to your child.
Yes. What else are you going to do?
What else are you going to do? Like, again, 4 tears alone just
tissue box.
Yeah.
Tissue box. For
episode
7. It hits you like a truck.
It really does.
Because the whole show up to this point has just been fun. Fun, quirky, good.
Bubbly.
And then
pop rocks around the Kantaka.
And then we hit episode 7. Boom. Where did these tears come from? Yeah. Why am I crying? What's happening?
So hard too. The other day I did have a really tough day, and It's like to Tom, I'm like, I'm gonna watch episode 7 of DanDaDan now if you want to join me. And so we just sit and cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a heavy hitter. It hits hard. Again, just this episode alone. Mm-hmm. Tissue box 10 out, like, this is actually the highest rated episode.
Oh yeah.
Out of all the episodes, like if you look online, it is
the
highest
it's just
rated.
Amazingly well done.
Yeah. Again, just very rarely is a monster born. Monsters are usually created.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of scenario. Oh.
So good.
Yeah. So good. So good. Thank you again to anyone who had any part in the creation of this wonderful show, DanDaDan. Thank you to Tom for providing the music on this episode and all of our episodes. If you enjoyed and want to hear more, you can find us at sadgirlsandanime.com. We're on Blue Sky and Instagram as Sad Girls and Anime Podcast. Also on Reddit as Sad Girls and Anime Pod. Thanks again for tuning in and crying with us.